Hey, what's up? Andrew Kramer here for VideoCopilot.net, and welcome to a very exciting tutorial for SureTarget 2, our new advanced camera animation tool for After Effects. Now, we do have an early version of SureTarget, so if you check out the tutorial section, tutorial number 82 and 83 both talk about SureTarget, and it's a preset that you use on a null object, and it's a cool preset, and you should check it out just so you kind of get an idea of what this is all about, and there's some cool tips for creating that animation. And also, just for a primer, you may want to check out tutorial number 54 on the advanced camera tips. So you really want to understand how the camera works inside of After Effects, but you can also make it a lot better and a lot easier if you use SureTarget 2. So what we did is we upgraded it. We added a few new features. We made it a plugin so it's easier and smarter. And we just did some cool stuff. We made it more logical, so hopefully you won't forget how to use it. Now, well, speaking of forgetting, we've got a story here. And it's a true story, and it's the first one of 2010, so let's make it good. It's not very good, but here it is. So the other night, me and my wife were getting ready to watch a movie, and she wanted to see if her sister called her on her cell phone or something, I don't know, something very important, I'm sure. And so we were looking for her cell phone, and we couldn't find it. And we were looking all over and digging through the couch and going all over the place. Well, my wife claims that our daughter was playing with it earlier in the morning, and so maybe she's stuck it somewhere or destroyed it. We didn't really know. So we've been looking for about 15 minutes all over the place. And then I just stopped. And I said, honey, I know where your phone is. And she said, where is it? I said, come with me. So we marched upstairs, went into our bedroom, and we have like a bathroom sink. And there it was, right on the counter. So how did I know it was there? Did I put it there? No, I didn't. But here is how I knew. Earlier in the morning, we were both getting ready, and we were kind of in a hurry to get out the door. And I remember looking at her as she was brushing her hair, and I was thinking, I bet you that would go a lot quicker if you weren't also talking on the cell phone. Needless to say, though, I was pretty proud of myself because I was like a futuristic detective that went back in time in my mind to solve the mystery. Now, if I could look forward into the future, maybe I could stop some crimes from happening. I would need some sort of precognitive ability, some sort of precognitive ability. And then they can make a movie about me and probably get Tom Cruise involved. Well, in the meantime, let's take a look at SureTarget 2. So here is a basic example of what you can create with this advanced camera animation tool. All right, so there's a lot of new features, and here's another cool example. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at these two examples and basically go down the line and check out all the great new features. Okay, to get started, you need to install the SureTarget plugin. So make sure your computer is on and download the project file for this tutorial, and then copy the SureTarget plugin into your plugin directory for your After Effects program. So check into your manual. I don't even think they have manuals anymore, but look it up. Anyway, once you get that installed, we can then access it using the computer, assuming it's still on. So we'll come over here to this composition that I've set up, and it just has some particles and a gradient. It's really just to make this tutorial look a little nicer, but obviously you can see right through that. Now, when you use SureTarget, you're going to be using it, say, in a blank composition or one where you've already started to design. So either way, here's how you get started. First, we create a new null object. This is going to be the way that SureTarget works. Then we just choose Effect, Video Copilot. I always have to say it like that. I can't just say Video Copilot. I'd say Video Copilot. Sometimes when I'm watching movies with my wife, I do the movie trailer voice. She hates it. All right, so we'll do, SureTarget. And the cool thing about this is it automatically makes the null object three-dimensional. It adds a camera. and it parents the camera to the null object, all just by applying it to a null. So that's cool. It makes it quick so you can focus on your design and being creative. That is the key. So you can go into the camera settings. You can make some changes. You can make it a little wider, any of that good stuff. So we'll hit OK. And the next thing we need to do is create some targets. Now we're going to use text layers, but you can use anything. You could use null objects if it's just motion graphics, but we'll just go ahead, take the text tool, and we'll just click in the composition. We'll just type stop, and we'll add another text, drop, and roll. This is a procedure that you follow if there is an earthquake, I think. So if everything starts shaking, you stop, you drop, and you roll, seemingly to the vibration of the earthquake, I would assume. So we've made these 3 layers. Now we do need to make them 3-dimensional. So we'll just click on the 3-dimensional checkbox, and we can move them around in 3D space. But for now, we'll just leave them kind of next to each other. So we'll go to our null object. We can rename it, by the way. If we just hit return, we just type sure target. And here's the plugin. And the best part I'm going to show you right now, check this out. You click on this about button, bam, look at that. Sweet little graphic, version 2.0.10. It's pretty official. Pretty official right there. Anyway, here's what we have to do. We have to set up our targets. So right here we have target layers, and we can go target 1, stop, target 2, drop, target 3, roll. So once you set that up, then we can start animating our camera along to these targets. So here's the basic way SureTarget works. You keyframe the number. The number is related to the target that you're on, and anything between 1 and 2 is essentially animating to that next target. So we'll move forward. We'll type 2, and if I hit U, we have our 2 keyframes. The other nice thing is that we've simplified the expressions, so when you hit U, there's not a big list of expressions that we've added to be confusing. I decided to sidetrack you with stories during the tutorial to be confusing, so we kind of made up for it there. We move forward, and we just click a keyframe. So this way, we go from 1 to 2, we hold, then we go and we hit 3. And so with these keyframes, we're going from 1 to 2 to 3, just like that. And this is the basic way that SureTarget works. Now the cool thing is we can move these around anywhere we want. Now that they're designated as targets, we'll just move them around. So go click on the Z-axis here, and we'll just slide it forward, out of the frame perhaps. And so it goes all the way to that target, and then back down to roll. We could even take it and rotate it. So if I hit R, we can change the rotation. Now remember, SureTarget works with the rotation, not the orientation. So if you use the rotate tool, make sure you set it from orientation to rotation. But we'll just use the slider down here, and we'll just, rotate it a bit. Now, we don't have auto rotate on by default. So what we can do is go in here, turn on auto rotate, and now the camera is going to automatically rotate to the target. Now let me spread these out a bit. So now we have a little bit of time between the 2 targets. But it's pretty interesting because it automatically animates towards it. Now I'm going to turn on our background design just so we have something to look at, and I'll also change the color of the text. And a cool tip is if you select all the layers, you can just click on the color and they all change at the same time. So okay, let's move that out. And you can see that we have some 3D space here. Now that we have it set up, let's check out some new features. So we've created our animation, and it's set to ease targets. And that basically means that it's going to be smooth out and smooth in as it arrives. But there's a few other modes, such as none, and none will basically use the speed of the keyframes here. So now you could say hit F9 and add your own curve at that point, and just give you the flexibility to do it yourself if you want to. There's also